Lawful presence and residency are important processes because they determine how much students pay for tuition. In this video, we will summarize all 4 areas of residency status requirements and provide you with an overview of the residency's exceptions. Let's start. Students who are considered out of state pay considerably more for tuition than in-state students. It is very important that students enter correct information at the time of admission to potentially avoid completing a residency appeal. Things that may affect a student's residency status include citizenship status information, driver's license information, date and state of high school graduation, date of residency in Arizona, and the Arizona county in which they reside. Based on this information, students may be assigned one of many tuition rates. Now you are probably wondering, what are the residency requirements? Determining residency is like a puzzle. There are 4 pieces, and all of them must be in place for a student to be classified as an in-state student. They are an eligible citizenship status, residency date of 1 year or more, creating ties to Arizona, and proving financial independence. Let's start with citizenship status. The first part of the puzzle is the citizenship status. In accordance with Arizona law, all students must show that they are in the United States lawfully in order to be eligible for in-state tuition. This is usually called citizenship status, lawful presence, or HB 2008. There are many citizenship statuses and several are eligible for in-state tuition, but some are not. Eligible statuses include U.S. citizen, permanent resident, refugee, asylee, and some visa types, which are A, E, G, H, K, L, NATO, U, and V visas. If a student does not have an eligible citizenship status, they will not be considered for in-state tuition, no matter how long they have lived in Arizona. The eligible citizenship status start date must be for 1 year prior to the official start date of the semester in which they apply for in-state tuition. We only accept certain documentation from students to verify their citizenship status. The list of the acceptable documentation is posted on our course page. We encourage you to review it. Now let's discuss the residency date. Students must have lived in Arizona for 1 year to be eligible for in-state tuition, and the date of residency must be 1 year prior to the formal start date of the semester. Many students leave Arizona for school or vacation and place the date of their return when applying for admissions. Students do not necessarily lose residency status when leaving the state for vacation, church missions, or to attend college elsewhere. When these errors are made in the application, we must still collect documentation which proves a year of residency in Arizona. There are exceptions for students who do not meet the 1 year requirement. The list of the exceptions is posted on the course page. We encourage you to review it. Now let's discuss the third component of the puzzle, ties to Arizona. The importance of showing ties to Arizona is to prove that students have made Arizona their permanent home. Remember, students must show ties to Arizona to be considered for in-state tuition. The most common way to show this is to submit an Arizona driver's license or ID card at the time of admittance. When students submit out-of-state licenses, they are automatically classified as out-of-state for tuition purposes. There are exceptions for students with out-of-state documentation. The list of the exceptions is posted on the course page. Great job, everyone! Let's discuss the last component of the puzzle, financial independence. Verifying financial independence can sometimes be the trickiest part of the residency process. Students who are claimed by parents in other states are considered out of state for tuition purposes. Information regarding high school graduation provides guidance in determining whether a student is still likely to be claimed on out-of-state parent taxes. The rule of thumb is that students who graduated from an out-of-state high school within 5 years must verify their financial independence. Students can verify their financial independence in the following ways: by being over 24 years old, demonstrating financial independence on the FAFSA, not being claimed on their parents' taxes, and filing taxes as an independent and verifying employment. Now that we've covered the residency requirements, you are probably wondering, what are the residency exceptions? Some student circumstances allow for an exception. With these exceptions, students may not have to meet all residency requirements if all other required documentation is submitted. Let's look at the exceptions. As far as the citizenship status, if students are in an eligible status, but it has not been 1 full year yet, they may submit additional citizenship documentation to show their approval status for a full year, or they may submit a residency appeal based upon their parent or spouse's information. Great, let's discuss the residency date. Students who have not lived in Arizona for 1 full year must meet very specific circumstances to override this requirement by submitting additional documents. In most cases, all other residency requirements must be met. Some of the exceptions include veterans, active duty military station in Arizona, including the student and their spouse, students transferred to Arizona by their employer, students claimed on federal taxes by their parents, students returning to Arizona from a church mission, and members of Indian tribes whose tribal lands have boundaries located within Arizona. As far as the exception of the ties to Arizona, there are no exceptions to this requirement other than students using their parent or spouse's Arizona residency in the appeal process. Students who maintain ties to other states are not typically eligible for in-state tuition. In most cases, students are responsible to verify that they are making permanent ties to Arizona, which includes students using exceptions to the 1-year requirement. Lastly, financial independence. Students who are claimed by their parents in other states are generally not eligible for in-state tuition. However, students may submit additional documentation during the residency appeal process to verify that they are independent. This may include their taxes, employment verification, or other forms which demonstrate that their parents are no longer supporting them. In some cases, students may show that their parents are now claiming them in Arizona to fulfill this requirement.